I actually think this is Anthony Crolla's like evil plan, you know, because everything's about him. Don't tempt me. I say it to Anthony all the time. I'd love to fight a heavyweight. I think I'm built for it. My last fight is actually embarrassing. I hate it. And Ant even said like, oh God, it wasn't even good then.
Good afternoon. My name is Seb Parkinson. I'm delighted to be joined by world champion Rhiannon Dixon, who is here to defend her world championship strap against Terri Harper in Sheffield on Saturday night. Rhiannon, it's been a bit of a whirlwind this, because 1 minute it was on, then it was off, then it was on, then it was off. Just what's been going on, and at what point do you guys actually find out that these events are on and off?
It's crazy because I've been sparring Hannah Robinson, and to be honest, it's been Jamie Moore that's let me know every time. And the second time he told me when like the Johnny Fisher fight was off, I was like, "Nah, you're joking, you're joking." He was like, "No, I'm really not." So I said he's not allowed to come back because he just brings like bad news to me all the time. But yeah, it's been a whirlwind, but I'm just glad it's happening. You know, being put back from August, and people were even wishing me well, like, "Oh, good luck for your fight on the weekend in August." I was like, "Oh no, it's actually September." But I actually think this is Anthony Crolla's like evil plan, you know, because everything's about him. I think he's been sabotaging all the main events so he can be on the top table. But I'm going to put in a request to Matchroom to not let him on the top table at the press conference.
Well, as we're recording it, the press conference is tomorrow. So by the time this goes out, it might have already happened. So if Anthony wasn't on the top table, we know why.
Yeah, I know. He said he's going to get a new suit for it.
Imagine that. The security says, "Sorry, mate, not today."
Yeah, I was like, "Nah, not you. Come on, Paul. You get on stage."
Do you know why Jamie knew before you, by the way? Is there any reason Jamie would know that it's not on?
No, I don't know. I think people just talk, don't they? And he obviously found out. I don't know. I'm out the loop. I'm the last to know.
Did it ever look like you would pivot to another opponent, or was it always going to be Terri Harper from the start with this one?
No, it was always going to be Terri from after when I actually won it. We knew it was always going to be Terri. So I think it's a really good fight, and it's a fight I'm really looking forward to.
Do you ever, because obviously like Terri Harper's one of the sort of pioneers of women's boxing, obviously then you've come onto the stage. Did you ever watch like Terri Harper and think, oh, that'll be me one day? And obviously now you're going to be in the ring with her.
Do you know what's mad? Because obviously I came from white collar. It was kind of like just take each fight as it comes and take each opportunity as it comes. But no, I do remember. I think she won her world title. I don't even think I was pro then. But I do remember watching it against Eva Wallstrom and thinking, oh, like I'd love to do that. Like imagine like how she feels winning a world title. And yeah, but then obviously, you know, she changed weights and, you know, moving up and down, and you never really know with the landscape of female boxing who you're going to fight and when, because, you know, some featherweight could jump up into lightweights and then you think, oh, now you're a contender, or someone will move out. So you never really know who or you're going to fight or when. So
yeah, it's like Natasha Jonas. I think she's been going through the weights, and obviously we've got Amanda Serrano, who's 7-weight world champion. You know, you'll be fighting a heavyweight soon.
Don't tempt me. I say it to Anthony all the time. I'd love to fight a heavyweight. I think I'm built for it. I'm built for heavyweight.
Does Terry's experience intimidate you at all, or do you not even look beyond that?
No, like, to be honest, every single girl that I've ever fought has more experience than me. So if anything like that was going to ever deter me, I should never have turned over, because I don't think there's any other female boxer who's only had 7 white collar fights who's turned over. I think they've all had quite extensive amateur careers and got a lot of experience. So every single fighter that I've been in has had more experience than me, and it's not worked out for them so far. So
yeah, well, in terms of the camp then, I know obviously you're in camp with James. Do you still spar together? Do you still knock 10 bells of shit out of each other?
No, just on the streets. We're not allowed to anymore. I'm too much for him.
What has camp looked for you then? Have you had to make any specific adjustments for Terri Harper, or is it just business as usual?
So it's been a bit mad, obviously, with the changing of dates. I think initially we thought we were going to be fighting in July. I think that's what got mentioned. So it's been really long for the both of us. So I went over to Dublin and started sparring, did some rounds with Kelly Harrington, which was a really good experience, and then helped Chantel Cameron out with her camp. So there has been a lot of adjustments, because obviously, like I've said in interviews, I really wasn't happy with my performance. My last fight, it's actually embarrassing. I hate it. And Ant even said like, oh God, it wasn't even good then. And I know I've got a lot more to show. So I feel like I'm coming in with like a point to prove because I'm actually embarrassed of my last performance. Don't ever mention it to me. I don't like it.
Well, what one of my questions I've got for you is how did it feel to win the world title back in April? So you sort of answered that, but does it feel like you're going in there against Terri Harper to sort of win that world title again?
Yeah, that's what it feels like. I feel like I've got a point to prove now. I was really like not pleased with my last performance, and I believe I'm going to put on a good performance this time. Because I've got to make up for the shit performance in April.
Well, you're fighting in Sheffield. Obviously, you're headlining. First time, obviously, I imagine you weren't expecting to headline. But when you got the news that you were actually going to headline after all the cancellations, what was the feeling that you got, and how do you feel now going into it? A few days away.
I just thought, wow, like I can't there's not many female fighters that actually get to headline, and especially someone like me. It's my first world title defense. Like, what more could you ask for? I just felt so grateful, and I can't believe like Matchroom. They've still kept the show on after all the pullouts, all the chopping and changing, and I just thought, wow, like everything's falling into place for it to be like one of the best nights of my life.
What's the dynamic been like in the gym since you won the strap then? Because obviously Ant was, walking around with the former WBA champion of the world, and now you're in there with a world championship belt. Has the dynamic changed between the two of you? Are you taking over?
No, I'm the bottom of the the pile in that gym, and it's just made his ego even bigger. He got an award the other day. He was in some boxing Hall of Fame, and I said to him, "You do realise you've only got that because of me, like because I won my world title. That's like you. It's literally the only reason why." But no, it's just all gone to his head. Yeah, so.
Well, what about your day-to-day life then? Do you get recognised in the streets? Has anything changed there, or are you trying to keep a low profile with it all?
People don't recognise me because I look like two different people. When I have makeup on, I look nice. When I don't have makeup on, I don't look. So I think I'm like Hannah Montana. People don't recognise me anyway.
Sandy Ryan fights Mikaela Mayer this weekend. Is that one you're keeping an eye on for a potential future challenge?
You never know with people coming up and down, do you? But I think it's a really, really good fight. And it's, I'm just a bit gutted that it's on is it on at like 3 a.m?
Yeah, it's over at Madison Square Garden, yeah, so it'd be a late one.
Yeah. So I'll have to watch it with my breakfast, so I won't be able to go on my phone because I don't want to see the result, and then I'll have to watch it. But no, it's a really interesting fight, and it's good that these girls are taking these fights. Like Sandy didn't need to fight Mikaela; she could have tried to unify or. Really good fight.
Really exciting. How do you think that one's going to go?
Oh, I don't know. I'm going to sit on the fence. Anything I say always comes wrong. That's why I never put bets on anyway, because I just lose money.
Well, you should see my Twitter. That's all I post is my losing bet slips. So there you go. You and me both. Just looking back to last week then, did you watch the AJ performance? What did you make of it from a boxer's perspective?
Yeah, I thought it was mad. I thought, what is going on? And did he go in the corner and say he's shit?
Yeah, I mean, I personally think he was very, very concussed at that point, but he did say, yeah.
And then sticking your tongue out and looking out, I don't know whether it was I'm trying to fake it that I'm okay, I don't know, but he just didn't really look like him. But it was shocking because obviously the turn of events where you thought that AJ was going to stop Daniel and then he just catches him and then, I was shocked.
Well, hopefully you're the Daniel Dubois on this weekend. I know you just said you don't bet, but can I get a prediction from you for this fight? How do you expect it to go? I don't need to give you game plan away or anything, but
I think a demolition job. I'm going to go through her.
You're going to retire her?
Oh, yeah.
Rhiannon, it's been a pleasure. And good luck on Saturday if I don't speak to you before. And I'm sure I'll speak to you again with that World Championship strap, and then you'll be going for the next one.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for having me.